Day without meat. That was a proclamation made by the governor that stirred an intense debate at the Capitol today. It led to some agricultural industry leaders threatening to move part of the stock show out of the state. CBS 4 political specialist Sean Boyd joins us from the Capitol. And Sean, the governor is not backing off his statement.
Karen, he is downplaying it all, but make no mistake, he has created a major dust-up. As one rancher put it, words have consequences, especially when they're the words of the governor.
We can't have leadership in this state throw the number 2 industry in this state under the bus. That's unacceptable.
Senator Jerry Sonnenberg took to the floor of the Senate and took Governor Polis to task over this, a proclamation declaring March 20th MeatOut Day in Colorado.
A holiday in the state of Colorado for meat-free.
It's not the first time the governor, whose partner is vegan, has snubbed the beef industry. Sonnenberg recalled how he plugged Burger King's meatless burger, sending a bunch to the Department of Agriculture.
This contributes to his war on rural Colorado. It is indeed a slap in the face.
It could also have economic ramifications. Sonnenberg says the National Hereford Association is now threatening to leave the National Western, calling the proclamation the last straw.
We do hundreds of these proclamations.
Polis suggests everyone's overreacting, noting he's expanded markets for Colorado beef, and he likes meat, or at least cooking it.
This was one of my quarantine hobbies, was learning to really develop techniques around cooking some of the underappreciated cuts. I'll put my brisket against anybody's brisket in the state.
Senator Rhonda Fields suggests the governor is tone deaf.
Have you seen the lines in reference to people getting boxes of food? And we want to have a day of no meat?
Ranchers like Sonnenberg also unamused.
I'm asking you to stand up for agriculture.
Now, the National Western released a statement saying it's disappointed in the proclamation, but wouldn't say what impact it might have on the stock show. Meantime, the Colorado Cattlemen's Association is holding Meat In Day on March 20th, the same day as Meat Out Day. There will be barbecues across the state and stores and restaurants offering specials on meat. So Meat Out Day has led to Meat In Day and may actually help meat sales and hopefully not hurt the National Western. Live at the Capitol, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.
Sean Oliver.
Yes, here we are, Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and I have to thank CBS 4 for that news piece. And there it is. The governor, he steps in it again, and literally, I don't know where this is going to go, but I thought it was important today that we show you some faces of agriculture. I'll introduce you everybody here in a second, but we are at Studio Kitchen, Colorado, have a full show for you today, and it is the Ides of March 1st. Can you believe it?
We made
Mr.
it.
Mike Harper, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thanks, Greg.
And let's go on down the line. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tori Uhland.
Hi, Tori. Good to see you.
You too.
I'm Holly Mitchek.
Okay, we're going to have the conversation here today. Let's just first, reactions, you guys. Meat Out Day, March 20th. I have a feeling you won't be taking part in Meat Out Day.
I think I'm going to double up.
You're going to double up?
I'm going to eat so much meat on the 20th, it's going to be crazy.
As well you should.
Yes.
First blush, reactions.
We've already had meetings in our community about a free community picnic with burgers and hot dogs free for all. So
I love it. As we're going to cook some delicious lamb here as well. How about you, first reaction?
Well, being a rancher, it's kind of a slap in the face. And ranching cow and calf in Colorado is our #1 agricultural entity. So bringing in $3.6 million every year to Colorado. So it wasn't something I appreciated for sure.
Didn't sit well, right,
No,
Mark?
no.
Hey, grab that microphone right there. I apologize. Oops, sorry, sir.
It doesn't surprise me coming from our governor because he is actually not a friend of ours. It doesn't seem like, but I think in the long run it's going to maybe backfire on him, and we're going to do a lot better in the long run. So
yeah, the fallout.
We have to say thank you, Governor Polis, for something, but not this.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting, and I love the awareness now because as we are an ag state, I mean, Colorado, you think about it, what do? We have a lot of ag. As the modern eater, we tour Colorado, And we take a month in our year just to go around and connect with folks. Now, you don't live in Denver. Where do you live, sir?
I live north of Greeley, north of Denver, about 65 miles, small town of Eaton.
And what do you do?
We're in the, we feed cattle and a lot of sheep, but a few cattle. So we have a feedlot there, and we buy cattle and sheep from all around the western United States and bring them here and we finish them. And then we have recently got involved in a partnership in a new processing facility in Brush, Colorado. So we're harvesting lambs out there and selling carcasses clear back to the East Coast. And so we're in the trenches. This is our business, our livelihood.
How many generations?
I'm the my daughter's the fourth.
Wow. Yeah. Wait till you hear this story.
I'll bet you that we've got even more over here. I have no doubt.
Where do you live?
I was born and raised in Eads, Colorado, in the southeast corner of the state, just about 35 miles north of Lamar. Grew up I'm the fifth generation on the Uhland side, and I'm also the fifth generation on my mom's side, the Muhlenberg side, which is in Idalia, Colorado, which is just north of Burlington. So the roots run deep.
Yeah. How about you, Holly? Where do you live?
I live in East Colorado. I grew up in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. On my mom's side, I am a fifth generation. In Kansas, they homesteaded. It's been in our family for like 136 years.
Holy cow.
So on my dad's side, I'm a fourth generation. I married a Mitchek, and he's a fourth generation, and there are many, many Mitcheks still farming and ranching. So.
How about you?
I'm in Keensburg, Colorado. I grew up in Oregon, third generation. I've been with Superior Farms, which we are an employee-owned company. We process lamb and veal. 36 years of service for Superior Farms.
Wow. Unbelievable. All right, let's dig in. I read a opinion piece that you wrote on the Book of Faces. It just really struck me, and just thinking about it gives me the goosebumps. But this struck really, it cut deep for you, really.
It did.
What prompted you to write that piece, and where did you, I mean, it was from the heart, obviously. But what was the sentiment? We printed it out here and said, well, let's not read it, but just give that overall sentiment of that piece and what prompted it.
I've never been afraid of sharing my belief system with people. Like I said, I was born and raised on a fifth generation farm. A lot of my cousins have kids that are the sixth generation. They're being raised right now. I'm very proud to be a part of the ag industry. And so hearing something like that after, it's not the first comment the governor has made negatively towards ag. There's a lot of things in our country and in the world going on that are just not sitting right with me as a producer, and something that my family has worked so hard for. My grandpa built the operation from nothing, and he's raised his whole family this way, and I just don't think Governor Polis has a lot of respect for this industry, and he doesn't understand it, and he doesn't try to understand it.
Using his position of power and influence to utilize and to use that bully pulpit to basically give his opinion is what he's doing right now.
He's using a public platform to push a personal agenda, and that's not okay. I don't care what your politics are. What we eat should be up to us. He has no right to tell us what we should and shouldn't eat.
Yeah. Could you, so some of the feedback or the blowback on this is they're taking a look at the stock show and saying, is this the right fit for it? Especially in a state that right now has a governor that obviously is not pushing the agriculture agenda. What do you think about that, Mike?
I think we got to stay strong. I mean, they've got a neat design going down there for the new stock show grounds to, the revamping of the old grounds and where it sets. I think you got to move forward strong. You got to encourage people to hang on. This too will pass. Yeah. He may not be there in a few years with this kind of approach.
We can't lose the stock show.
No, it's huge, and the tax base when you're attacking agriculture. Look at the tax base that ag provides the state of Colorado.
Yes.
It's huge.
Absolutely, it's huge.
there's been talk of secession. Weld County's talked about moving to Wyoming. And I think there's more and more talk all the time.
Well,
whether or not that would happen, I don't know.
I don't know how that could work out, but I found that interesting. You took the drive up here today because it's very important. What's that message that you guys have? What is it that you would want to say as we want to utilize the Modern Eater as our platform to be able to counter what the governor has done right now?
I think you hear this a lot, but people need to understand where their food comes from. Mm-hmm. And it's not the grocery store. From farm to table, that's kind of something that people need to understand. And how many livelihoods, a message like this impacts.
Yes.
All of us, we have stakes in agriculture, and this impacts every one of us in different ways. But it's an impact, and it's not in a good way. We just want to be a voice for agriculture and, convey this message to the public.
Absolutely. Holly, what do you think?
Yeah, so for me, I think that there's a misunderstanding with farming and ranching, and we are good stewards. If we don't take care of the land, if we don't take care of the animals, the cattle, the lamb, the sheep, they don't take care of us.
Right.
And so I feel like there is a disconnect between, maybe we're not educated enough or whatever the belief is, but, come spend a week with us. You can learn a lot.
Absolutely. Mark, I've met you a couple of times, but just being involved and being around Mike Harper, there's certain things that as you get to know folks in ag, and I think that point of what you said of being good stewards, what do we do going forward to create more awareness, bringing in the direction that we need to go? We do what we can at the Modern Eater to try and get around and tell the stories, but what can we do as a concerted effort to really rally the ag in the state of Colorado?
That's one thing where the stock show, if you're tying this all together, it's the one place where the city people have a chance to see agriculture, learn about it.
So true.
And without that, they don't have that opportunity. And the food is produced somewhere besides the grocery store. The grocery store is the outlet, but there's a lot of work done before it gets there.
It's not born in the package, on the shelves.
Not yet.
It's not. So as we bring this to a conclusion, and I think Senator Sonnenberg did a great job, I believe, on the floor of the Senate just a few days ago, and it's to me it's just mind blowing that the governor would actually say such words to discourage. What is it? Number 3 industry in the state of Colorado?
It's
cattle
is number one in agriculture.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
3
Well, where
points.
do we go from here, you guys? Where do we go? We just have to stick together and get the word out.
Absolutely.
I've always said that the problem that we have in agriculture is we're so busy trying to make a living and take care of our animals and our livelihood that we really do a poor job of educating. But thanks to people like yourselves that get the word out and help us get the word out about what we do and the importance of it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Well, what we're going to do here today is we're going to cook with some delicious lamb. And we have Chef Blake and Chef Marcus from Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start here. It's important that we keep this conversation going. These folks, we could have connected on a Zoom call and Zoomed them in from northern and southern Colorado. It was important today that we come together here in Studio Kitchen, Colorado as a collective voice. And this collective voice is what we need to do. So Colorado MeatOut Day, which is March 20th, coming in 20 days, has turned into Colorado Meat In Day. And folks are going to double and quadruple their efforts to give awareness to the great state of Colorado and the agriculture that we have. We will be doing our part, so we'll be planning something on March 20th to give that awareness. So get your smokers going, your backyard grills. Do what you can to support Colorado agriculture. And truly, what I believe you need to do is take it to your little media outlets, which is your Facebook, your Instagram. Post pictures of agriculture. Post pictures of the ranchers. Post pictures of the farmers. Do what you can do within the realm of your environment to create that awareness and show how important it is for agriculture. Colorado. That's what we need to do, and that's what we're going to do. So March 20th is Meat In Day for all of us. Closing comments. We'll just go down the line.
The West wasn't one on salads.
I love it. Great closing comment. Try and beat that one, Holly.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just want to thank people for supporting agriculture, and we do appreciate you. So.
Well, and collectively, we're going to go do this together. So we'll be brainstorming. Tori, what your closing comments on this as well?
You know, I just would like to encourage everyone to thank your local producers, thank a farmer, thank a rancher, and I want to thank you guys for helping us get this message out.
It's our pleasure. Absolutely. Mr. Harper?
Eat more lamb. 10,000 coyotes can't be wrong.
Yes. I didn't expect that you would say that, but please, you guys, these are the faces of agriculture. It was a pleasure having all of you here today. I think we need to celebrate and cook this delicious lamb with the chefs.
So too.
We're going to break. We'll come back to Studio Kitchen Colorado. This will be developing and continuing. We're going to try and get Paul Andrews on, who's the head of the stock show. I'd love to get Senator Sonnenberg on, and we've got calls out there as well. So in the coming days, as we lead up to the 20th, I'd love to see the governor walk back his proclamation. He's been downplaying it as though, hey, I sign proclamations every day about all kinds of various stuff. But I don't know that you know the repercussions when you do something like that with a platform to discourage an industry that is so near and dear to our hearts here in Colorado. So as we continue to follow this governor, I know you watched the show. It'd be great if you just walked that back once again and said, you know what, I was out of place and out of line, and really embrace what we have here in the great state of Colorado. So thank you guys again for showing up here today.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll break. We'll come right back to Studio Kitchen Colorado. The chefs are in the house. We're going to get to cooking. That's what we like to do right here. So we'll break off, come back. Studio Kitchen Colorado, the Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4x Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head, and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
You're watching The Modern Eater, and now back to the show.
Welcome back to Studio Kitchen Colorado. We'll get back to the kitchen with the Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start chefs here in just a second, but I have to tell you about Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. The man is a genius when it comes to installing tap lines. He does installation, and he also does maintenance, because if you're pouring beer, it has to taste like the brewer intended it to taste, Mike.
I would think so.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're at a restaurant and you see the bartender pouring it into a pitcher and brushing the foam off and then pouring it into a cup, Jeff Rourke wasn't there. He needs to be there to maintain those lines. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, Jay?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Just get a hold of Jeff Rourke from A+ Beverage Solutions. He will do a custom build-out for you, or he'll do maintenance, whether you're going to add a line, water, wine, coffee, kombucha, a nitro line, anything that you want, Jeff Rourke can do it. He's a family man, 20 years in the business, family-owned and operated. Give him a shout, 720-272 720-272-3809. One more time, Mike. I went too fast. 720-272-3809. That's Jeff Rourke, A-plus Beverage Solutions. Welcome back to the kitchen, Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Mike Harper sticks around. And why? This delicious lamb right here, which I've fallen in love with. Somehow I always manage to ask you to bring lamb with you every time I see you.
So far, I've been good, haven't I?
Been really good.
I've shown up with it, and that looks beautiful. Two beautiful. I got to double check the rib count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 rib back on that left one.
Ooh, look at that. Chef's,
8 on the right.
Chef Mark is here with us.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
We visited a little bit.
We just met, yeah,
early on, yes, and I'm excited to see what these guys are gonna cook up for us for a little snack today.
And Chef Blake, he's giving us voice of rest here today. Okay, here's a treat though, right? You get to see the producer come in with the product and see the face of agriculture. That's really cool to connect the chef and the producer.
Yeah, it's a very important relationship to have.
Absolutely. So talk about this lamb in particular.
Well, this is Colorado lamb.
No, this one lamb. You don't know the name of this? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I got to give you.
You took her with you the last time you were at the feed yard.
Yes, I did.
This is Colorado lamb, fed in probably about 60 to up to 90 days on feed. Ends up on about a 50 to 55% grain ration, so it's what we call grain fed, like your grain fed beef. It should be very mild flavor. It's got nice marbling in it, and I'm extremely excited to try some when these gentlemen get done working their magic.
Now, lamb gets a good and a bad rap. Some people say it's too gamey for me. One thing that I've noticed about your lamb in particular, maybe I just love it all together, but it's really got a great flavor to it, a good consistent flavor. Is that the feed that you're using?
That would be the feed. It's just a mild, it just takes, you talk about grassy flavor or earthy, gamey. I think you're going to get that off of grass or something. The grain just adds a milder to me. Now, everybody thinks differently, but I've grown up on grain-fed beef and grain-fed lamb, and it's just got a mild taste, and it takes flavoring well. And you don't need to do a whole lot to it, which these gentlemen they did some lemon zest and some sage and some salt and pepper, and it looks like it's very simple, and I think you're going to find it's fantastic when they get done with it.
Take it away. What are you going to do?
Yeah, this is just kind of the way that my mother would prepare like a rack of lamb. So what we're going to do is I've got some clarified butter here that's just heating up. We're going to sear the lamb on its fatty side. First, give it a flip, and then we're going to coat it in mustard, and we're going to use some mustard to kind of adhere this breadcrumb mixture, and then we'll pop it in the oven to finish it off. The breadcrumb mixture is just panko, parsley, chive, sage, lemon zest, capers. If you have some like anchovy fillets, that would be great in there, and a good amount of garlic as well.
Now, this is obviously very familiar to folks, the lamb chops, but the rest of the lamb.
Well, that's always the goal for us is to move the whole critter. The rack is typically pretty easy to sell, but that's what I always encourage people to think outside the box and think about your lesser valued cuts. I mean, rack of lamb is very low yielding on a carcass, so it's very high in price. But when you can cross-cut neck slices braised, shoulder chops braised and baked, and there's so many different options and other avenues to look. Anything with the leg, of course, shanks. I love lamb shanks.
I love hearts and sweetbreads and all that. Lots
of different. So that's really the goal, and what these guys can bring to the table is they can help you. Lamb is a little bit seasonal. There's certain cuts that work better in the winter than the summer, and vice versa. So these guys are really the outlet for us to work with and help us to ramp up in those times of year when you're not moving, say, the legs and vice versa. So I think, to your point earlier, it's just great to be able to get with these chefs personally and talk about what we see, what they see, and and get a little better relationship so we can do more business.
Create that awareness. Now, so for me, Colorado lamb. Why does that stick out so much? Is that do other people from other states look at Colorado and go, okay, Colorado lamb?
I believe so. Colorado lamb is Weld County is the #1 sheep feeding spot in the nation. So there's more sheep fed here than any place in the country. We're the only state that has 2 decent-sized lamb harvesting facilities, and it's probably because historically there's been a lot of sheep here. It's centrally located in the west, so you can bring lambs from all around you. But having those 2 plants and then having these feedlots in the area and the feed availability, and in reality, the climate in Colorado, as much as people might think we're buried in snow most of the time, we on the Front Range have a pretty mild climate typically, and it's ideal for feeding. It's not too hot. We don't see a lot of extreme cold, so it's really a good environment for what we do.
Now, what do you do as a producer? Who do you work with? Who are some of the supporting members that actually promote Colorado lamb? Are there many out there, or is it just a...
Mark's here with us today, but Superior Farms is a big advocate, having a plant here in Denver and as well as California, and they've got sales groups all across the United States that they work through. So that's a great outlet that way. But working with people like you, for us on a personal basis, getting to know these chefs gives us an opportunity to create hopefully some more business for us moving forward. So that's what we're hoping
How's
for.
lamb considered in the kitchen, Marcus?
I love using it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Other chefs are open to it?
I think a lot of chefs are open to it. It does have that reputation of being very gamey, but I think it's just probably not very well prepared. It can take on, it does have a very distinct flavor of its own, but it can take on a lot of very aggressive flavors as well. That's why I think it goes well with like cumin, a lot of spice, and also just very, you can also enjoy it very simply. So there's a huge range of what you can do with lamb, very versatile, and like we had mentioned, there's a lot of different cuts that I think a lot of chefs don't utilize, and I think that's, our job as chefs is to kind of push the market and, use the entire animal.
Yeah. Now, and you think about plate costs.
Yeah.
So that's why some of those lesser cuts more attractive to the restaurant side. If you can create something that out of the norm, that's a better value for them.
Exactly.
I know beef reigns supreme, right? But it's interesting. You look worldwide, goat is the #1 eaten protein worldwide, which blows my mind because you think, like, when was the last time you've had goat?
Probably 2 years ago, but
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
How about you, Marcus?
I want to say a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like I ate a lot of birria, like stuff like that. I enjoy it as well.
And creating awareness for other animals, right? I mean, delicious animals. And goat, there's a goat it's not Estes Park, the other one that I love, Salida. A goat rancher there as well. It's interesting because we try and get around, when we're doing our trip in Colorado, we try and find a little bit more obscure stuff to tell the stories, but I'm struggling to think of too many people that actually are lamb ranchers at all.
I'd say there's a lot of lamb ranchers that you don't see and don't run into.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we put together a list just for today to talking point. I think we buy from around at least 30.
30? Interesting.
So there's more out there than you think.
That's very interesting. What do you got going on here now, Marcus?
So we're just slathering this chop in some mustard, and then we're using that mustard to adhere this breadcrumb mixture.
I love what you're doing here. So basically you're giving it a little bit of flavor there, and then you're going to finish this off into the oven.
Yep.
Huh?
We're gonna.
That's fantastic.
Gonna use.
Now I don't like my lamb too rare. But I mean that's the same with me on beef too. But a lot of people prefer to eat this pretty rare.
I'm with you. I think because of the fat content. Now this is a cap off rack, but because of the fat content, I like the fat crispy hot. But I'm a medium rare meat, a red hot center. That's what I typically prefer.
Me too.
And on a rack, at times, if I go someplace where I know they have a tendency to cook it a little more rare, I'll order it medium instead of medium rare. But that's just
right
me.
there,
But a loin chop, I'm medium rare all day long.
It just it changes texture and flavor to me when it gets to that point.
Yeah.
Anything below that, I think it's just, for me, it's lost on me at that point. But I'm always putting this on fire. Here. So this approach, baking this off, and I think the last time we had some lamb in here that you actually brought, we had it frozen. Chefs, you prepared that in here as well on fire.
Yeah.
Was it racks that day as well?
It was racks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So what temperature are you going to bake that, and for how long, you think?
Well, the oven's at 450 right now.
Ooh, pretty high.
Yeah, what I like to do, honestly, is if we had more time, is kind of broil it or put it in a really hot oven for about 10 minutes, and then pull it out and then just let it rest for 10 minutes, and then put it back into the oven for another 10, and then kind of just keep cycling the heat, and that way you have a very, very consistent
finish on it.
Finish, yes, exactly.
Let me tell you about these guys. Culinary Quick Start. Emily Griffith has teamed up to us. We believe education is making a resurgence right now, and people, as they're ramping up to get back into kitchens right now, Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start, it's a gimme. It's a 3-week course, right? Monday through Thursday, a couple hours in the evenings. It's free to anybody who'd like to sign up, and you also come out with some certification as well, with the ServSafe certification. These gentlemen, and Marcus, what week are you in the classes right now?
Well, we're in between sessions, so you can still sign up for our class, which starts next Monday. So the cost is absolutely free. We highly encourage you come in and work with us, and get your hands on food and get some experience. But yeah, we're starting next week.
We'll get going again next week, so you can sign up as well. If you go to themoderneater.com, there's a tab right there at the top. It says Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. There's a sign-up form there. Please join us if you'd like to. So whether you're getting back into the kitchen, you're knocking the rust off, maybe you've been on the bench for a little while, the skills that you will see in this class is fantastic. From Marcus, you start out with knife skills and sharpening to cutting to dicing. Kind of give an idea of what that 3-week curriculum looks like.
Yeah, we always start with the fundamentals, which is knife cuts. So the first week is very heavy on knife skills, but we also teach basic kitchen skills that you'll need as a prep chef or a line chef, such as sauce making, stock making, basic following of recipes, and then we go all the way to breaking down chicken, breaking down fish as well.
It gets pretty intense, actually, and very thorough with the work that they do. It's cool. You get to see it online, but they do encourage you to come in. We'll take a couple of students in here, just rotate them in and out. One of the really cool things about this program is once it's done, they don't just say, okay, sayonara, you're off to the races. They connect you with a career fair. So online, what we do is we gather restaurants, restaurateurs, chefs come together and basically say, here's some jobs for you. Get ready to go.
Get them out there.
And bring them in. So get going right away. If you're looking to switch careers, or maybe you're just fine-tuning yourself, it's a great way from A to Z to be able to get going again in culinary business. How about you? What are you up to?
Me?
Yep.
This week? Oh, just shopping for restaurants.
Shopping for restaurants. Cool. You guys, we'll finish this up here. Is there something that you wanted to demo as we come back, or is that what we're demoing today?
Yeah. I've got a salmon fillet back there that's on a cure right now. We'll wash off that cure with a little rice vinegar, and we can slice it up for you guys.
That's what we'll do when we come back. Okay, cool. Thanks for the lamb.
You're welcome.
The lamb chops are
I'm going to stick around and help you enjoy it.
Absolutely, as well you should. Okay, we'll break away. We'll come right back. You're tuned to The Modern Eater right now, right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Again, please support your local agriculture. Take photos. If you're in agriculture and there's somebody that you admire, just give a little blurb of what they do and a photo of them, or maybe a photo of just whatever you see in agriculture, whether it's a farm or a ranch. It all intertwines and connects together. It's a pleasure having the Uhlands, the family, come up here today. Truly, I love the guys down there. When we go and visit the Uhlands, it's a family. You really get a sense of the togetherness, and it's not an easy thing to keep people engaged in agriculture. Obviously, people want to go. I mean, you're testament to that. Keeping people engaged in the family business. Sometimes it's not
easy. A lot of them see how much it takes and think it might be easier somewhere else. So It's tough. And a testament to people that hang in there.
I'm going to post a picture of you on my Facebook. You're going to be my face of agriculture, and I'm going to rotate it.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mike Harper here with us. Okay, we'll continue when we come back. Studio Kitchen, Colorado with Emily Griffith, Culinary Quick Start. Be right back in a flash.
Hey guys, Alex Armitage over at Sam's No. 3 Glendale. You want a Bloody Mary? You want a cheeseburger? You want a breakfast burrito? Greek salad? Bacon gyro meat? Chicken souvlaki? Barbecue ranch salad? We got you covered. Come down and see us. One more time. Try it again. Hey guys, Alex Armitage over here at Sam's No. 3 Glendale. Now get your ass to themoderneater.com. Thank you so much.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
All right, you guys, back to the show in just a second. But before that, I want to talk to you about bread. You hear me say it all the time. AspenBaking.com, AspenBaking.com. I mean that. Aspen Baking is doing some of the greatest stuff in the world when it comes to bread, right? Sourdough, hoagie rolls, coffee cakes, pound cakes. They do pizza dough. If you want pizza dough, they'll make your pizza dough. They'll get it to you fresh. They don't freeze it. They don't use chemicals. They don't do the fake colors. They don't do any of that. At AspenBaking.com, they just do bread, and they do it the right way since 1994. Support local, support AspenBaking.com, and get yourself some bread. Now back to the show.
Okay, welcome back. It is the first day of March, and the first part of the year is just cruising by, and thank God, as we come up on the one-year anniversary of literally just shutting everything down because of COVID. Studio Kitchen Colorado, we're trying to come up with a hashtag, something that when we do feature folks in ag, that we can all come together so we can hit that hashtag, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. If you have a suggestion, throw it on the stream or just email us, themoderneater@gmail.com. We'd love to have your feedback of what that hashtag should be. So start thinking of what you would like to post, because we'd love to challenge each and every one of you to take it upon yourself to feature somebody in Colorado ag. It's very important right now that we show that awareness. Back to the kitchen with Chef Marcus. Chef Marcus Eng here with us as well. Seattle Fish Company brought some delicious fish just a few days ago, but you had different plans for this right here. What are you doing with this salmon?
So we when the Seattle Fish Company dropped us by, it's a Scottish salmon. They showed us how to break down and fillet a fish, which was awesome to see them break it down super quickly. But what we're going to do is I've got this on cure, and we're just...
Okay, what on cure? Is that like...
we're preserving it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're getting it to a state where we can either throw it in the freezer or just eat it as is, but we want to prolong the shelf life of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do to cure it is I've just more than lightly seasoned the fish on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I've given it a good amount of salt. You can see that moisture that's kind of leaching to the surface of the fish there.
It's sweating.
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to do...
Kind of like I was earlier.
We're just going to take some paper towels and blot off this extra moisture.
So kind of while you're doing this, you explain why.
Well, we're trying to wick away the moisture that is going to cause, like, spoilage.
Gotcha.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to rinse this off in a solution of rice vinegar and water. And then we're just going to take the skin off, and I'm actually going to freeze this for 48 hours just to kill whatever parasites are left.
Interesting.
All right. So, and you can see how much moisture just came off of there. So what we're going to do is just give this a little bath. And you can leave it in the solution for, another half hour. I'm really just trying to wash the excess salt off. So I'm not going to leave this in here for very long. All right.
Incredibly interesting.
And this is actually how, like a sushi restaurant would prepare their salmon too. People don't really think of their salmon as being cured or processed prior to being sliced, but it firms up the texture and it prevents parasites.
Interesting. And so when people say sushi grade fish, what do they mean?
They mean fish that is of a quality it's a rather dubious term, but they assume it's a fish of quality to where you're not going to get sick if you eat it raw.
Be able to eat it raw,
yeah.
Right? And so this process, are they doing this with all fish?
Well, a lot of sushi restaurants will kind of cure fish or at least process them in a way that makes them safe to eat. All the tuna that you get at sushi restaurants are like deep frozen for at least 48 hours to kill parasites. And most of the fish that you get is actually instant quick frozen on the boat. So you can actually play with different flavor profiles based on how long you cure your fish for. But I think there's a kind of a misconception that it's fresh off the boat.
Yeah. I mean, truly, because until minutes ago, that's what I thought. All right.
So I'm going to actually just grab a larger cutting board here, and then we're going to take this.
And again, these are some of the things that you will learn from the courses of Culinary Quick Start, Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. It really is cool to see these guys work. And the classes, I don't know, what are they, about an hour and a half each evening?
Yeah, they start at 5:30, and then they go to 7:30, and we go a little bit longer on Thursdays. But classes go from Monday to Thursday.
All right, here we go, Chef Marcus Ng. So at this point, what's next?
We're going to get it dry again. We always want to just make sure that we're getting as much of that moisture off as we can. And then I'm just going to cut it in half here to make it a little bit easier to skin. And then we'll kind of cut this into blocks. So we can just freeze it and then pull one block out at a time whenever we want to eat some salmon crudo.
And so salmon, is it important to remove that skin? I know some people like to prepare it, or I do anyway.
I do as
when
well.
I grill it, I keep the skin on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a preference thing?
Yeah. If I'm eating salmon raw, I'm not going to eat it with the skin.
Right.
It is a very good skin to eat, especially if you can get it nice and crispy and kind of render some of that fat underneath the skin. But we are going to remove it today.
All right.
So actually,
it's interesting is when I shop for salmon or fish in general at the grocery store, I always tend to want to get this portion of the fish, but I've been told this is the most flavorful, but obviously cooks up much quicker. What's your favorite portion of
I
the fillet?
tend to prefer kind of centered cut.
Yeah.
Just because you get a very nice looking block of fish. I'll save the tail pieces for like a stew or a soup or like a cioppino, something like that. So it doesn't go to waste, but if I'm just eating a piece of fish on a plate, I prefer mine center cut just because it looks a little bit prettier and it cooks a little more consistently.
So you cut that all the way through?
All the way through. And it's just I don't have a super long slicer to get it all, but we're just going to remove this, and we're going to do that by just...
Okay, the cool technique that you've started out with, it's something to grip, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to really just let the knife do the work and kind of angle it down and just go back and forth here. And then we're just pulling the skin to keep it nice and tight.
Well, you're not losing much meat at all, did you? Look at that. Well done.
We can dehydrate this, actually. Scrape what's left of the meat off, dehydrate it, and then you can fry it as like a chicharron.
Okay. Thought you were going to make shoes or something.
And then this we're just going to cut into blocks. Just like that. So we're going to just wrap this up into in some plastic wrap, and then we'll freeze this for about 48 hours. And again, the texture will improve.
I love it. Can't wait to see, actually.
So I'm just going to trim this belly off right now.
And you are one of the chefs, and many actually, but you're a very big advocate of minimal waste.
Yeah. I've always said if it's going in the trash can, you can't make money on it. And there's a lot of really delicious kind of delicacies that aren't always on the menu, but you can if you have an open mind and want to utilize the entire fish. There's definitely some good eatings that are not exactly high on the hog, I guess would be the expression.
Well, it's amazing. Some of the chefs, one of the chefs that I really admire in his work is Kyle Mendenhall, who's with the little big red F right now, but who's with Arcana in Boulder.
Yep.
And on his menus, I mean, literally, this would be on the menu, this fish skin, and he would make culinary delight out of things that you would think, oh, that would just make it into the trash can, right?
Exactly. Like I said, those chicharrones are delicious. They're a great snack, and it's not hard to do either. Just that having that know-how is very, very nice. So I tend to leave some of the silver on. Some people will slice it off just for aesthetic purposes.
Wrap those babies up, and then they're ready for you, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can keep them frozen or when ready for use, right?
Yeah,
Now,
just pull them the next day.
Sure. Integrity of fish in general, and you think about it, but most things are always frozen. But does freezing do anything to the integrity of a protein?
Yes, to a certain degree. You don't want to. There's some proteins you don't really want to freeze.
And then how long? How long can you leave it in the freezer for?
I would do it for maybe 48 hours, something like that. Like I said, it's
Fish
a good
you really
storage.
want to get to, right?
Yeah. There's definitely a limit, and it depends on how it's stored too. If it's vacuum sealed, it's going to last a bit longer.
But then, like the lamb chops, how long can you freeze lamb chops for? 6 months. It's about the thing. I always look in my freezer and I go, geez, I got to eat that.
Yeah.
It just builds up in there.
All right, so we're just going to wrap these blocks up and pop it in the freezer, and we'll enjoy this a little bit later. But that lamb's probably ready to be...
No way.
Well, we'll put a probe in it and see where we're at.
That lamb cannot be done.
Here's what we'll
do. So you're just going to wrap those up and they'll be ready for the freezer
at
this point? Okay, cool. Again, Emily Griffith, Culinary Quick Start. It's always a pleasure to have these folks in here with us on Monday, just sharpening up the skills. I know Jay Parker, as he's here with you every single evening for the class, he walks away just like I do going, you know what, these are great things to know. Jay, you got your mic on?
Yes, I do.
Just give a little bit of thought on what they do here in the evenings.
It's, in a word, it's just amazing, right? So I know you may be like, hey, man, you're cooking. But when you see somebody make focaccia bread from start to finish and taste it and taste how amazing it is and how it's not a difficult thing, right? But there is discipline involved, and you have to set the time aside to make it. But like you said, Greg, as I sit here and I'm just doing their cameras for them and all that and staying out of the way, I'm learning to the point of taking notes, right? Or then after the show.
Prove it.
Okay, well, that's what we call a small lie, but mental notes. How about that? Okay, don't act like you know me, Greg. Don't act like you know me. But it truly is. It's if you're somebody that enjoys cooking, right, or you're looking at it as a career, the Culinary Quick Start is literally the first thing you should do, because the price is right. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you have the time, you come down to the kitchen, you get hands-on with two incredible chefs who've been chefing a long time. It can change your mind about culinary.
Change your life for sure. It's a pleasure having them in the kitchen. What we're going to do is we're going to break away and come back. We have a video to play. I think Juan Padro took the lead on this video, didn't he?
Yes.
All right. I know that if you saw the show on Friday, we're Nurture. Which camera am I looking at here?
Those things, those lights are giving me the main one, top one.
Camera?
Yeah, top
If
one.
you saw Friday's show, you saw us over at Nurture. Now, I'm in love with this facility. Nurture is a facility. It's kind of just practitioners on an a la carte kind of concierge medicine that really believes in stepping forward with nature first to see what happens. These guys have got it licked. They are well ahead of the game. We got to visit with a couple of doctors, and they're doing something right now that I believe, I don't know, with the seasons or whatever, to get a reset on your body. We're going to start a cleanse, and Mike Harper's already giving me hell for it. But that's okay. It's a 3-day, a 7-day. You can continue on. There's a lot involved in it, and you can join us as well. Or when you're ready at your own accord. In the fridge, we have boxes, right, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Prepared. What did I think I just
pre-prepared. I picked them up this morning.
And you can do this too. But this video that we're going to show you right now is Juan Padro picking up with Jay at Nurture, and I think you'll find it very, very interesting. We'll break, we'll come back, play that, and then I think by that time the lamb will be out, and we'll have some lamb here.
You could smell. He opened the door, man, and it was like a delicious slap in the face, man.
Absolutely. Okay, breakaway, come back. That's what you'll see from Nurture, Juan Padro, with the ladies and Jay. Today, this was this morning, so breakaway, come back and play you that. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.
Hey everybody, Juan Padro with the Modern Eater Show, and we are at Nest in the Nurture Well Care Marketplace on Spear and Federal in Denver, one of my favorite places to come in Colorado. And guess what? I'm doing a cleanse, 7 days. And most of you don't know this. I typically cleanse probably every 4 to 6 weeks, but usually a 3-day juice cleanse. And I was introduced to Elizabeth and Kelly, and they taught me a better way. So I'm pretty excited to talk with you ladies, and welcome to the show, and get everybody super excited to watch what happens to me over these 7 days. We're gonna track it, and I'm gonna share with you my results, how I feel, and hopefully, I get a little more guidance from Kelly and Elizabeth, and we are, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty excited about this. Look at all this. So let's talk. Kelly, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Elizabeth.
Hi. How are you?
What's happening?
What's up?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Kelly and I actually worked together for 6 years, and then you came and did this incredible project over here. Tell us about it.
Yes. So Nurture is a health and wellness marketplace, so all things self-care. This first floor here is all things open air and marketplace. We have cafe, some retailers, fitness expressions, and then upstairs is where all of the providers are. So you can find
providers. What do you mean by that?
Yes. So everything from massage therapists, acupuncturists, concierge, primary care, pediatric care, holistic care, nutritionist, dietitianist, full herbal apothecary, stretch therapy. I mean, it's rather infinite in terms of, so however you define self-care, we've captured
it. You can basically walk in, come to Nest in the morning, get your smoothie, do a little bit of work, go get a treatment, come back, hang out for lunch a little bit, go do another sit in a salt cave.
Yes.
Get a workout in. Go get stretched.
Yes.
Okay.
And then have a glass of wine.
And then have a glass of wine. You do have happy hour here. So it's not all just strictly uptight health. It's a fun place to be.
Well, that's exactly what we've tried to create, is that we can take care of ourselves, and it doesn't need to be in a, whether it be a pretentious or sterile or medical environment. We've taken the same services that we're not recreating. We're just recreating the container and the experience so that it becomes everyday, because we believe that we should be taking care of ourselves every day, not just as a luxury or something that we do when something's broken.
Got it.
So again.
Elizabeth, tell me a little bit about your background, because I know you moved here. I think you're from New York. You went to L.A. You ended up in Denver.
Yeah.
This is a lot of your creation. Tell us about it.
As far as the food experience?
Nest.
Okay, yeah. So in the kitchen, my background's in nutrition, in holistic healthcare. And so we created all the dishes to be functional nutrition. So in the back, it's all, combinations of food, what makes different nutrients more bioavailable. And what you get to receive is like a delicious salad or a dosa. But on our end, it's very intentional. It's very for your body to be able to become its best self.
Okay, so I just go and I'm going to go eat at Hillstone, and I'm going to get their kale salad, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm eating super healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's probably some health benefits to it, but what's the difference between just going to get a salad somewhere else and like what you're making here?
So, for instance, the kale salad you're getting at Hillstone, and I'm not demonizing any restaurants, but just from working in the restaurants a bit, you think you're getting something super healthy, but it turns out the salad dressing is made with processed oils. And so you've just taken something really, really healthy and you've like doused it in kerosene. Whereas here we don't compromise certain ingredients. It's mostly organic. Definitely our oils, we don't compromise. We don't compromise sugars. We don't compromise flours. There's no processed ingredients whatsoever. Whereas a commercial restaurant usually, and to survive, like I understand why restaurants cut costs on certain products. They cut costs on oils, and so you're potentially eating something that's healthy, which at least you're getting your kale in.
Right.
But you're also getting some
It could be
rancid
worse.
oils.
Right.
It could be worse.
Right. Okay. So, breakfast, lunch, and dinner here?
Yeah, breakfast and lunch for sure.
Okay.
A lot of our items are transitional into dinner. So you can get a salad, you can get a bowl, you can get a dosa, which is certainly a dinner or lunch portion. But just given our operating hours right now, our kitchen's open till 5 and then happy hour is until 7. We are excited to share that we will move forward into dinner service come summer-ish.
And so I want to ask a couple more questions about the cafe, and then we'll get into the cleanse. You do meal prep as well, right?
Yes.
I just noticed that out there. So can you tell me a little bit about that, Elizabeth?
Sure. We do an exclusive menu for families and individuals. It's offered. The pickup is on Monday. You get the menu on Monday when you receive your delivery, and it's 2 entrees, and then you can add on from the restaurant's menu and our grab-and-go section from there. And I think we're working on a produce box as well, so it's kind of a one-stop shop. You can get your groceries, you can get entrees for however many people are in your household, and there's always a plant-based option and a animal protein-based option.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. The idea behind it is that you have the same quality of ingredients in terms of how they're sourced and how they're, how the recipes are developed so that they're, again, functional nutrition, and they're delicious. And cost effective too. So you can get the same organic prepared meals prepared by, a holistic health practitioner.
Right. And the team for sure.
And then they're prepared for you. So it just takes the ease off, and then you get the variety too. So
Okay.
a lot of our customers for the prepared meal service are also our everyday customers, but they want that variety. So really it kind of meets both of those needs.
Amazing. All right. We got to talk about this cleanse because, like I said, I've been cleansing for probably 6 years, every 4 to 6 weeks, but it's just like a 3-day juice cleanse I do. And some days I do 3 days, and some days I do 2 days and a half day to wean off it because I'm in the restaurant industry. And obviously I'm going to, after I'm done with my cleanse, I walk back into a restaurant, I have a glass of wine, I eat something, and, my body kind of...
You're human.
Right.
Yes.
So I did this 3-day, and I'm going to do 7 days now.
Yeah.
I did this as a 3-day cleanse.
Yeah. How was that?
And it was great. I thought it sort of I felt like my body just sort of heated up a little bit and kind of ignited. I'm not somebody that sweats a lot in the gym and stuff like that. And my pores were opening up, and I don't know.
Your body was getting rid of toxins.
Yeah, my body was detoxifying for sure. And I wasn't. One of the things with just a straight juice cleanse is sometimes I get headaches. I might get I might get hungry.
Yeah.
I didn't really experience that with this, which I was very surprised with. So that's why I agreed to do the 7-day thing. So, and the other thing was they usually label them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get it and stuff like that. But you guys have bone broths and smoothies, and you have a soup that you do. So it sort of changed the way I was thinking about cleanses. Is that really it's more than just juice. There's stuff that you can do that is really, really healthy for you that can. I think that's I don't know, sustenance, is that the word I'm looking for? So really cool. So why don't we walk through some of this stuff and you guys tell me a little bit about tell me what it is first, because you've got orange smoothies and blue smoothies and green smoothies and red juices and green juices and charcoal waters. And
Can we start from the top?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So how do we do it?
Yes.
What's the order?
Yes. So
I would like to preface this by saying too, for anybody who's confused, you will get a sheet that comes with it, so that you have your schedule and you know exactly what to do every single day. So you don't just pick this up and we're like, go. You will get exactly what to do. But just to verbalize it.
Yes, of course. So with this sheet also contains each of the ingredients or each of the parts of the cleanse, and it lists all of the ingredients and then the functional purposes of each of the cleanse items. And then as Beth was saying, whether you purchase a 1 day, a 3 day, a 5 or a 7 day cleanse, it walks you through at what time and what item you're having. So for example, for the first day, you start with your onyx, like you'll start with every day. This is your detox juice if you want to expand on any of these properties in here.
Yeah, absolutely. It has activated charcoal in it. So the idea is while you're sleeping, your body is doing its own detox process and it's accumulating all of the toxins or food or whatever it doesn't need from the night before. And it's kind of like sitting there ready for elimination. And then the charcoal goes in there and binds with all of it and just helps the elimination process. And it has a lot of lemon in it too, which I always say is like, you take a shower every single day. Lemon is like internal soap, so it's like, why not take a shower on the inside every single day? So that's why.
Yeah, they always tell you to do like a lemon water when you wake up.
Yeah, water. Yeah, and I would recommend that on our cleanse as well.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because I always say even before you get to this, just have a big glass of lemon water. And if you're someone who needs that reminder, put it like on your nightstand or whatever you have by your bed the night before.
Awesome.
Yes. So the things that stay consistent through through the cleanse are the juices and the broths, and then you have the variety with the smoothies and the soups. So those change each day. I'd say for me,
Which, can I say that's a cool thing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just, because the monotony.
That's the hardest thing for me.
And it's not necessarily a physical challenge. That's a mental challenge for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. A lot of this
like
is mental
looking
challenge.
It was like, oh my God, I have to look forward to this tomato soup.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that piece, and then even temperature and consistency. So with cleanses, especially in the winter, doing just a cold juice cleanse is hard.
Yeah.
Like Ayurvedically, it's hard on your body. And with this, you have your cold, your cold pressed juices, and then your smoothie. But then at the top of your lunch hour at noon, you have that warm, comforting soup, which really
you just
helps.
said something that I don't really understand. So you said Ayurvedically, it's hard on your body just to put cold.
In the winter.
In the wintertime.
So Ayurvedic's all about eating seasonally.
Okay.
And so if it's cold outside and you're eating a lot of cold things, you're freezing your digestive system and your internal system. So it's kind of going against.
Okay.
But, in the summer, that's why I think juice cleanses are really easy in the summer is because it's hot and your body wants that the cooling temperature. Okay. But just because this is our winter cleanse, like Kelly was saying, the broths and the soups we purposely put in there for the medicinal factor, but also for the temperature.
And this is something that's just going to constantly be evolving. And it's just because it's based off of what the ingredients are, not necessarily the specific juice.
Yes,
that too.
That too. The soups, sorry. So the cleanse is offered year round, and the smoothies and the juices will stay the same, as well as the broth. The soups will probably go into cold soups during the summer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so what are these other beautiful juices?
Yes, so you start with your onyx, and then you have your clean and green smoothie, which is like nice substance in the morning. That's yours. He's actually
This is
due.
what you guys want to see me start my cleanse?
For his smoothie.
I hope you downed your onyx.
I did.
Okay, good.
I drank my onyx. I saved this because I'm really hungry, and this is pretty delicious.
Yeah.
So what's going on here?
So you have every single green that you can think of in there.
It looks really healthy.
Yeah, it is full of chlorophyll.
Look at that. Okay.
You've got spirulina, which is that darker green on top, which is 60% protein. So, and also there's hemp seed mixed into the body of it, which is a little bit of protein.
You just said let's stop right there. Protein.
Yeah.
We're in Colorado. Everybody works out and they hike and they do. I can't cleanse. I'm not going to get any protein.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, you can cleanse without protein. That is a myth. Like your body is a lot stronger. We, again, want you to be able to stay on the cleanse. For me, the reason why people don't cleanse or they're afraid of cleanses or they get off of it and they feel bad about themselves is that they're feeling hungry and they're feeling like they're missing out. Whereas this purpose is to give you liquids so that it's pre-digested, not necessarily take out all the protein.
Okay.
So we're doing really light plant-based proteins unless you pick the chicken broth to just give your body a little bit more.
So what are and this isn't necessarily specific to the cleanse, but I think people would want to know this.
Yeah.
What are the plant-based proteins that that are closest to like a meat protein that you feel like you're going to get that are going to absorb into your muscles the most? Is it the same, or is it like people say it's a little?
The most similar into the amino acid profile for meat is going to be soy, and obviously get organic soy. Do not touch it if it's not organic. But that's the most similar as far as the spectrum of the variety of amino acids, which are proteins. Yeah. So, but hemp seeds, it takes, I think, 3 tablespoons have 11 grams of protein, for instance. This probably has 2.
Right.
Not even. And so it's very light protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. This is delicious, by the way. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to drink this while
down that.
Drink it all.
I continue to talk. So. Okay. So the smoothies.
Yeah,
Go.
so mid-morning, 9:30, you have your smoothie, which is a nice breakfast, if you will. You get that sustenance to carry you through until noon, and then it's not out here, but we serve the soups at noon. And so they come in a nice pre-measured container, so all you're doing is warming them up.
So mine were, I actually had, so on my 3-day cleanse, I think I had 1 tomato, and it was kind of like a hearty tomato puree.
Yeah.
It was almost ate like a bisque or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I had, I think it was carrot and ginger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was either that or squash.
Carrot, I think, yeah.
Was it
one or
carrot
the
ginger?
other.
I don't
Might have
know.
been. I don't know. It was delicious. Either way.
That was orange.
And they were actually not brothy. They were, because we get the broth here, right?
Like a
So
puree.
kind of like a heavier.
consistency, yeah.
Like baby
I felt
food.
like that filled me up enough, so that was good.
Yes, and that's why I personally like it too, is so that you have your juice in the morning, and then your smoothie and your soup. So as you're building up to the peak of your day when you need the most calories physically, mentally, you're carried that way with that. Versus with juice, I crash, and then I'm unhappy. I'm not able to be deliberate with decision making or anything, and I need these calories and I need the nutrients to power me through my day.
Yeah, and I was going to say to that point too, with juices too, and I'm not demonizing all juice cleanses. Like my parents went on a 60-day juice cleanse. They looked amazing, but sometimes too when you
60 days
they did 61 because they forgot about it, which is why I learned about variety. Like you were speaking to, is that I asked them how they were able to sustain it, and my mom was like, I had to pick a new juice every single day to keep it going. But anyway, sometimes that you experience a crash after the juices is that most juices are mostly sugar. So you spike your blood full of fructose, which is very taxing on the liver, and the liver is what takes care of all your detox
You should just
anyways.
drink tequila if you want to tax your liver, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why waste the calories? But yeah, so a lot of the times too, you experience a crash because your blood sugar's gone way up and then it comes way back down.
Yeah, so it's nice to have that, the soup at noon, and then after that you're followed by the 2 juices, and all of our juices are 16-ounce portions, which is...
How do they get to... Okay, this blows my mind.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, they don't separate, and they hardly ever, barely
They will.
the last time. Not as much as other ones.
Well,
and then,
yes.
And then these colors. What is going on here? This is like art.
Nice observation. So
My
what
blood.
you're noticing, which these will separate because that happens naturally, but not as much, because a lot of juices that you'll typically see are they'll use things like celery and cucumber to because you get a lot of liquid from them. And so that's where you see a lot of that separation. Whereas these are, in 12 bottles. To make 12 bottles of this juice, for example, we're using 8 pounds of spinach for 8 pounds of kale.
Yeah, because celery doesn't have any
And for people
redeeming
who don't know, it's a
quality,
lot.
right? Other than
Right.
the fact that, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it does, for sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Celery is a really great source of a lot of vitamins and minerals, but specifically sodium. And I think salt has gotten demonized, but sodium is an electrolyte. You need that for cellular communication. And so sodium's a really... celery has a very pure and beautiful source of sodium, yeah.
That's good to know.
But to Kelly's point, restaurants will flood it with either celery or cucumber just
For the
because it's
volume.
cheap, and it's mostly water.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
get it
really,
that
really
way.
packed with chlorophyll, and again, spinach and kale have bits of protein in it as well.
Yes. So that's your malachite, and then this beautiful, beautiful juice, to your point, the ruby. So beets, turmeric, fennel, pear, orange, yes, is this juice, and it's delicious. It's still, to me, this is my
Yeah.
favorite one. It's a treat, and it has
It's
some
the dessert of the cleanse, I feel like, right?
Yes,
It's
and
the dessert.
yeah, and instead, this one has a bite to it. It's a little bit thicker, and that's from the pectin, the natural pectin that you'll find in
What's
the
pectin?
orange and orange and lemon peel.
Yeah.
Which can thicken this juice up a little bit, but again, it gives you that mouthfeel that you're looking for, that where you find that satiating sip, especially in a cleanse. But Beth, can you speak to pectin a little bit?
Well, pectin found in a lot of fibrous citrus fruits and other vegetables and things like that, but it's specifically for the orange pectin. We love it because it feeds your gut bacteria. It's like the prebiotic for your probiotics.
Okay, can I do want to actually, I do want to talk about that, because gut health, I feel like, is the most important thing. It kind of boosts your immune system the most.
It does
You know,
everything.
Right. And I felt like in 3 days, I noticed a huge difference on this.
What did you notice, Juan?
What's that?
What did you notice specifically?
Well, typically when you do juice cleanses, it's flush.
Right.
And here I just felt like, I don't know, that wasn't necessarily the case. It wasn't just a flushing process.
It was a whole elimination
It
process.
was an elimination process.
Yeah. Yes. So this, I mean, like, again, if you give your gut prebiotics for your probiotics, you're building up a healthy bacteria in your gut, which is going to affect your brain health. It's going to affect your immune system, like you were saying, your metabolism, your liver, everything. I mean, we are just on the cusp of understanding what the gut is, and if anybody tells you they know 100%, they're just lying to you straight out. But we do know that we're outnumbered by like 20 to 1 with more than that, I think, with all the gut bacteria, all the microbes that are living in our gut.
Yeah.
So like this needs to be happy or this will not be happy.
And that helps with breaking down food too.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Oh, my gosh.
We should talk a
For
little bit about
sure.
that because, I mean, I feel like, people who eat like processed meats and stuff like that, and that doesn't get broken down. You get bloated, and then you have all kinds of problems. So having a good the good bacteria in your gut like really breaks that down.
But you have to feed it so it can do its job. So it's
Right.
like we all are going like, I'm craving pizza or mac and cheese or like all these things. And your bacteria needs fiber. So it's like, where the fuck is my broccoli, people? Like, feed me, you know? So you have to be able to, whatever you like as far as fiber and vegetables, and please keep it whole foods. Like the fiber powder is like, I mean, unless it's selenium husk, but because you need the whole food, for probiotics. You can't just take probiotic pills because it will sporadically drop and it will feed poor bacteria as opposed to like everything. But you need fiber to feed your gut bacteria. They have to stay alive and healthy.
Right. So awesome. This is like such an educational process.
It's good.
All right.
I'm like,
let's talk bone broth.
You will get a quiz after this, people.
So once you get through your juices in the afternoon,
Yeah.
your dinner is broth. So we have a plant-based umami broth that's made with tons of mushrooms, turmeric, ginger, tons of immunity-boosting ingredients as well. And then the chicken bone broth as well. So if you're looking for more of that that fat and that sustenance and collagen as
Collagen's
well,
great for your gut.
you'll get that. And
Collagen's a hot word, so you might want to
Yeah.
say that one more time.
It makes you look hot. Let me tell you, it's for your skin, so you will look hot.
So that was good for me when I did it. It was like nice and warm. It was like I was kind of hanging out watching sports on TV and sipping on my bone broth, and it was a good way to end my night. And then I also slept better in 3 days,
Yes.
which I think is an amazing thing. So, all right. So here's the deal. 7 day. This is day one, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to track this, and we're going to kind of see. I think whatever. Everybody wants to lose weight, right? But that's not the real reason why we do this. So we want to, but we will talk about that. We'll talk about flexibility, which typically is a big thing for me, and then just overall, like how I'm sleeping and how I'm feeling after
your
7
clarity.
days.
I want you to pay attention to your clarity,
Okay.
like how you're like purposeful in your decision-making process, your ability to like move forward with
Okay.
all. Because I found that for me, the biggest benefit of the cleanse, like yes, I dropped like 10 pounds in a week and just shed that layer that is an amazing byproduct of doing a cleanse. But really, when you take all of the energy that's typically consumed in the digestive process by having pre-digested foods, it allows for so much more energy and clarity.
All right.
I was able to work out through the cleanse, slept
I'm
like
excited.
a baby, like a good baby.
I'm going to do a week, 7 straight days of Tabatas.
You are not.
Yeah.
I need
I wouldn't go into more of like I would keep it more low intensity. Try it though.
I'm
Here's the
gonna
thing:
try
is
it.
you should try
I
it.
wanna see how
I
it
challenge
goes.
you to try
Yeah.
it. I want to hear about it.
I do have a backup plan for 2 days of yin yoga in case.
There
I
you go.
crash.
Okay.
But,
Can I share that you should be doing lots of just like stretches for detox? So tell Joe, are you working out with
Yeah.
Joe? Tell Joe to do a bunch of like limp stretches.
Trainer Joe.
To help.
He's
Massage.
intense.
Massage
All right.
as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I do want to say, like,
Yeah.
for you as well, too, and for anybody else who cleanses, the first, especially like I found day 2 and 3, you get very lethargic and low energy, and you kind of have to think about it like you put your body on vacation. Like when you go on vacation, right? If you've been working hard, which most of our bodies have, especially with all the stress that's going on. Like the first 2 days on vacation, you crash.
you don't
Like
even
all
do
you
that.
want to do is sleep. So it's going to kind of happen to you on this cleanse as well.
Okay.
And then day like 4 or 5 is when your body starts to really pick up the energy and get all that energy away. So I would love for you to track that as well.
I'm going to track it all, and
'Kay.
you guys are awesome.
Wait,
So-
can I also ask you
Yep.
to weigh? I need you to weigh in.
I did. I weighed in this morning.
Okay, so you track that. Okay,
Yep.
good. Because I was going to say morning of day 1, morning of day 3, morning of day 5, and morning of day 8, and I will send that to you.
Okay.
No, you will send that to us.
These are just
Your data.
biomarkers. They're just biomarkers.
I
You need
love it.
biomarkers. You
Okay.
need tracking systems. It keeps you going.
I want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
guiding me through this whole process.
Thanks for doing that
and
with us.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience, I'm sure. For those of you who don't know, I'm opening a cocktail bar this week, so I will not be drinking. You cannot buy me shots at the cocktail bar. I will be green juices and bone broths through the opening. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I appreciate you both. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
Thank you, Juan. And thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Modern
Thank
Eater.
you, Modern Eater.
All right,
you.
Modern Eater.
And the
Sorry,
man
Greg.
are you still on? I say the
on.
man behind the camera is cleansing too.
Yeah, Jay.
So
Jay, how do you feel about cleansing? Are you still on? What's your goal, and what are you most hesitant about? Clearly, he needs the cleanse. Do you want my mic?
I just have to outsmart it. There we go. Thank you for asking. I'm terrified of the whole thing, and it's mainly just because, I
have you ever done it?
I've never done a cleanse. No.
Okay.
I fasted, and I've done some vegan eating and things like
You've
that.
eaten some vegetables.
This
Couple
will
here and
be
there.
kind of the
I've heard
first
of kale.
time I actually, do a cleanse. So I'm excited and terrified all at the same time. And I just wanted to remind people that if you want to take the cleanse and come down to Nest at Nurture, do that. Do that at visitnurture.com, or just make your way down here. Basically, Spear and Federal, right?
Yep.
Is where we are. Great place, great folks. Great
You need to
products.
give them a couple days advance so they can because they make everything from scratch and it's
Yeah.
a process. So
all right, good call.
Definitely go to the website. It'll walk you through everything. And if there's questions there that aren't answered, just let us know.
and I hand out Beth's personal cell phone number for any questions, so any support you
Exactly.
need. She's on speed
I'm
dial.
on speed
guys,
dial.
there's
I'm
got to
on
be
speed
350
dial,
guys signed up immediately. So thanks, ladies. I appreciate you
Thank
both
you.
so much.
It's so sweet of you
Thanks,
to come
Kel.
down.
Thank you.
All right. Great to see you. All
You
right.
too.
See you next
Thank you,
time
Jay.
from the Modern Eater.
Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, and we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you can actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120. There's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
Everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Rockalitas. Call Ewing Levitt. They'll get you covered.
I go home, I strip down to my skivvies. All right, here we go. I got it. Hey everybody, Steve Gould from Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. When I get my cocktails to go from Golden Moon Speakeasy, I go home, I kick back, and I watch The Modern Eater. Skivvies. Hey, I'm a Marine. It's skivvies, man.
Welcome back to Studio Kitchen Colorado. I hope you enjoyed that from Nurture again. If you want to take part, just go hit those guys up. It's Federal and Spear really is where Nurture is. You can look it up online. Back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Kind of resident chef. It's really what you are here at Studio
guess so,
Kitchen.
yeah.
I know Chef Marcus Eng here with us. And before we broke off and played that video from Nurture, you put this together. Turned out deliciously.
Yeah.
Let's cut this baby up and show what's up.
Let's see.
This is
Stuff in here.
always the best part. Oh, yes, chef. So Mike Harper, who's here with us. Mike, where's the microphone? You got one? There. Go grab that microphone. You had the last rack, and I don't know, turned out to your liking, sir?
It was so good, I decided to wait around while they cut the second one.
Round 2, right?
And because of your new cleansing diet,
You
I figure I was going to have to help pick up the ball and carry it. And
think you should.
I'll let you know just exactly what you're missing.
Yeah, how was it? How was it the first go around?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Ladies,
Beautiful.
pretty good. Yeah, absolutely. Fan of lamb. I don't know where people stand on the lamb spectrum, but I say give it a shot. Where can people? Most grocery stores, do they carry lamb?
Yeah, I would tell you if you want Colorado lamb, you probably better hit up a Kroger, which would be King Soopers or City Market on the west. Safeway, sadly, has gone to an import program, so I don't talk much about Safeway when it comes to domestic lamb.
You're
but
kidding me.
Walmart, Superior sells lamb into Walmart, so any of the Walmart grocery stores should have Superior lamb, which is Colorado or domestic lamb. Whole Foods would be another that probably has
Colorado lamb
on it.
So really, and a lot of chefs tune into the show as well. Food service, is that within the Shamrocks and Cisco's of the world?
Yeah, Mark, you could tell better. I'd say Cisco would be Superior lamb and probably Shamrock as well.
Yeah, so when ramping back up, and if you're looking to create some menu ideas, I say throw Colorado lamb on your menu. And educationally, how can people find out more about what you do?
Well, as far as us personally, I would look on the Colorado Lamb Processors website.
Okay.
And under that, you'll find the families that are involved in that entity. And you'll find some history and some things going on with each of the families, and you'll learn more about us on that.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for always coming and supporting us here at the Modern Eater. We love to do the same for you as well.
Thank you for having us as always.
Yeah, that's Mike Harper, Harper Feeders. I've got to thank everybody involved here today. Met some good new friends, and Mark Dumdy. Is that right? Dumdye. Mark Dumdye joining us today. Along taking the trip, Tori Uhland and Holly Mitchek. Thank you, ladies, for coming up and seeing us here today. We're going to come up with that hashtag and Faces of Ag. That's really what we want to show as you utilize your little media brands of your Facebook and your Instagram. Show a picture and just support ag. We need to create that awareness. So as you keep an eye on the Modern Eater social media, we'll be putting some things out here in the coming days. But as we ramp up to Colorado MeatOut Day, which is turning into Meat In Day, and I love that the awareness is being brought in a really counterproductive, negative way of an overreach from Governor Polis, who, again, I wish you'd walk back that proclamation, Governor. So we'll be trying to reach out to Senator Sonnenberg and a few other people that will come on the show to support this initiative that we want to create awareness to an amazing, amazing industry here in Colorado with Colorado agriculture. And I think, Holly, you mentioned early, but it's a $3 billion, right? $3 billion? $3.6 billion right here in Colorado. That's the show for today. On Wednesday, we're going to go meet with a gentleman, Chris Fuselier, with Blake Street Tavern. And Chris obviously works off of occupancy and he's just been hamstrung throughout COVID. But now, as regulations loosen up a bit, and they've announced that the Rockies will have fans coming in, and downtown needs that revitalization more than ever. So we're going to go support our friend Chris Fuselier from Blake Street Tavern. And we're also going to feature corned beef as we another great Colorado brand, and we'll feature some corned beef, which is delicious, and we're going to have Breckenridge Brewery join us there as well as we come up on St. Patty's Day. Really, really get out there and support how you can, when you can. Restaurants, it's more important than ever. Also, we'll be covering and talking about another thing that Governor Polis, you seem to really, really like the restaurant industry, and that's why you took restaurant workers and put them in the back of the queue again when they were promised that they'd be on that line of vaccinations. Whatever that's worth to you, we'll talk about that on Wednesday as well. So, got to thank everybody involved. Thank you for fantastic, and we'll reconvene as well. Got to thank Marcus and Chef Blake Stein for being here as well, and Jay Parker doing such a good job. We'll see you on the Modern Eater Show.